Life finds a way for the Jurassic Park franchise as the latest installment ushers in a new era. Hold on to your butts because the review for Jurassic World Rebirth is coming your way right now. What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the latest edition of the Porter Report. My name is BJ Porter, and I hope everybody is having an amazing day today. For all of my returning viewers, it is wonderful to see you all again, and for all my first-timers out there, welcome, and we hope you enjoy everything that this video and channel has to offer. The biggest movie month of the year has arrived, and I'm here to deliver the first of 3 very huge Porter Report movie reviews. This is a segment where I express my thoughts and opinions about the movies that I see and enjoy, and those that you do as well. Today's film sees us returning to one of the most beloved cinematic properties for a new age of terror, fear, and full tilt chaos, all of which being of the prehistoric variety. Today I'm giving you guys the official review for Jurassic World Rebirth, directed by Gareth Edwards and starring Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, Rupert Friend, Manuel Garcia Rofo, and Mahershala Ali. When it comes to films of the influential and iconic variety, they don't get more influential and iconic than Jurassic Park. For over 30 years, what this film accomplished in regards to doing what a lot of people thought was impossible continues to be one of the greatest success stories in the history of motion pictures. It's hard to deny that the franchise continues to be a hot commodity across a multitude of different mediums. Speaking on the film side, the franchise prepares to enter a new era of storytelling 10 years after the era that preceded it. Rebirth sees a collection of new characters facing a new breed of mayhem in their pursuit of a medical breakthrough. The task would be easy to accomplish if it weren't for the scientific abominations from the original park's dark and shady past roaming around the areas they're searching. To put it plainly, this is the dinosaur equivalent of Guantanamo Bay, and let's just say the inmates have taken over the asylum. Can this collection of strangers survive the dangers of this lost world, or will they succumb to a more brutal form of extinction? Getting eaten, that's what it is getting eaten. Well, let's not waste any more time and find out what this new adventure has in store for us. Here's the Porter Report movie review for Jurassic World Rebirth. A monumental shift is happening in a world where dinosaurs and man find themselves coexisting. For the past several years, the planet's current ecological climate is causing a number of dinosaurs to die off, thus dwindling the numbers to near extinction levels. The ones that managed to survive this purge have migrated to different pockets of the world where their genetic makeup can allow them to thrive. Through research and development, a pharmaceutical company has discovered a potentially game-changing medical breakthrough that could save a multitude of individuals from life-threatening diseases. Paleontologist Henry Loomis confirms the discovery and sees a window of opportunity to help bring this into fruition. The requirements for crafting this new medical product lies in the DNA of 3 keystone dinosaur species of air, land, and sea origin, with all 3 of them being conveniently located on an isolated, uncharted island off the South American coast. Loomis, alongside Spec Ops survivalist Zora Bennett and her mentor and expedition lead Duncan Kincaid, lead an extraction team to acquire the DNA samples from these dinosaurs and manifest a life-changing step in medical research. But upon arrival, it turns out that the island is more than what they originally thought, for it also happens to be the original research facility for the infamous prehistoric theme park created by the late John Hammond from the 1990s. Now being hunted by the bloodthirsty sins of a bygone era of genetic manipulation, this group of individuals and an innocent civilian family must work together to survive this lost world of beautiful nightmares. The next chapter in the Jurassic Park franchise arrives to usher in a brand new era several years after the conclusion of the original Jurassic saga. Director Gareth Edwards leads a new team of talent and also brings a reverence for the old school brand of intense terror and tension that defined the original over 30 years ago. After trekking through this new chapter of dino chaos and carnage, Jurassic World Rebirth attempts to usher in a new era of the franchise, but in the end, it sacrifices what made the previous era have staying power. The Jurassic Park franchise is one of the most prominent film franchises in cinema. The impact of the classic 1993 film is still felt to this day. The Jurassic World era, which took place from 2015 to 2022, became a launching pad for new fans, while offering plenty to keep fans of the original engaged as well. 3 years following the conclusion of Jurassic World Dominion, Jurassic World Rebirth is the newest installment that aims to return the series to its roots. Unfortunately, the film's attempts to do that are derailed by an experience that feels devoid of energy and investment in what is happening on screen. Part of that falls on the ensemble, who do what they can with what they have, but struggle to conjure up anything that remotely screams depth or nuance. performance. Our leading lady Scarlett Johansson pretty much is bare minimum basic throughout this film as Zora Bennett and never really leaves a lasting impact. There are hints at more depth, but they never manifest, making her quite an unengaging lead protagonist. It's a shame because I believe with material that allowed for her character to be more well-rounded, she really could have been a strong addition to the collection of Jurassic protagonists. Jonathan Bailey's Henry Loomis fares a little bit better, but not by much. Aside from a few scenes that make him more likable than most of the people he shares the screen with, not much was done to truly make him someone you want to invest in emotionally. Mahershala Ali's Duncan Kincaid, like Bailey's Loomis, is one of the more tolerable on-screen presences. Ali tries his absolute best to bring energy and levity to the film. However, he doesn't get much help from his castmates and the film suffers as a result. Other members of the ensemble, including Rupert Friend, are downright forgettable and in the end are unceremonious and pointless additions to the ensemble. The family of the film, brought to the forefront by Manuel Garcia Rolfo, Luna Blaze, David Iacono, and Audrina Miranda, might be one of the weakest I've seen in a Jurassic film. The dynamic was just off and I felt little to no emotional investment in what they were going through on screen. Out of the four, Miranda has a few moments here and there that make her a standout, but the quartet as a whole never really worked for me. This seems to be the main theme when talking about this movie. For as much as it has going for it on paper, a good amount of what is seen just doesn't translate well from a narrative standpoint. Gareth Edwards has an eye for visual detail that nobody can deny, but the lack of commitment to that type of effort on the storytelling side squanders a lot of that eye-pleasing goodwill. The film's cinematography and visuals make for a film that presentation-wise does what it's supposed to do a good amount of the time. That said, there are so many things that really drag the entertainment value of this movie down drastically. The movie's pacing is molasses level slow right from the jump and never really picks up once the action sequences start rolling in. Jurassic Park films usually don't drag, but this one felt longer than the posted runtime. I mentioned earlier that the lack of investment in the characters made it hard to invest in what was happening on screen. Due to that fact, the action sequences that were supposed to be filled with energy and tension never really had energy and tension. The much talked about raft sequence was absolutely a highlight, but it's not hard to stand out when so many of the set pieces lack in so many aspects. The film's climax leaves a lot to be desired and ends the film on an anticlimactic note that really makes you wonder what the point of it all was. That in itself lies the real problem. The entire movie feels like a disconnected standalone film without a good chunk of the things that make this world worth being in. I will give credit to the movie for trying to do something different, but this is the rare case where it works against the movie. While the movie does have Jurassic World in the title, it doesn't feel like it. Rebirth seems keen on making sure that we know that the previous era is over and done, but what it gives us as a replacement is pretty dull and not an ideal substitute. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and Jurassic World Dominion, for all their faults, had characters that you enjoyed spending time with and set pieces that had energy. Rebirth severely lacks that, and in turn makes the entire experience rather forgettable. This is a bummer because I really wanted to walk away from this movie excited about where the story and these characters go next. If energy and effort to creating characters that you cared for were infused, this could have been a strong addition to the franchise instead of one that honestly makes me wonder if going this direction was truly the right call. There is still very much a deep love for these films, but installments like this really paint a rough picture of what the future holds. All in all, Jurassic World Rebirth truly feels like this is the first time that the Jurassic Park franchise has made somewhat of a misstep. While so much of this film had potential, way too many factors worked against it, turning it into one of the weaker entries in a franchise that has managed to at least be entertaining, despite not quite being narratively strong. The desire for more stories in this world is clearly there, but the newest addition to the series might have just shown that it's slowly starting to lose some of its bite. As a fan of this franchise, I am always excited to jump into this world and experience the stories within it. Even when the end product is lacking in some aspects, I can point to elements that make me say that the trip was worth it. Unfortunately, it is very hard for me to say that about this one. Jurassic World Rebirth had so much going for it in terms of what it was working with and who was working on it. But when executed, it became something that I never thought I would say about a Jurassic Park installment. Forgettable. Look, I fully understand that people have their issues with the preceding Jurassic World trilogy, specifically Fallen Kingdom and Dominion. But I can say that those movies had energy and a sense of fun that this movie severely lacked. Obviously, I'm always going to be game to spend time with dinosaurs on screen. But I think after this, it might be a good idea to reevaluate and regroup to find out what was lost during transition between eras. Rest assured, this franchise is far from extinction, but I believe adjustments to maintain the staying power it has are definitely in order. But on that note, it is now time to throw it to you guys. Sound off in the comments below your thoughts about Jurassic World Rebirth, but be mindful of anything that could potentially be seen as a spoiler. There is still a lot to love about this franchise, so I'm confident that things will turn around as the lore expands and the stories continue. Continue to stay locked to the channel for more reviews and continued coverage of Summer Movie Season 2025 and beyond. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to stop on by. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their week, and until the next review, I'm BJ Porter, and this has been the Porter Report.